you can just imagine on a Sunday morning, right? You're going to church, you're in a white suit, and we would also want to play football in the parking lot. But the number one rule was do not mess up that suit. So for whatever reason, I could say that when I think about how I fell in love with it was I knew at an early age I had the ability to make people miss. And how did I do that? By keeping that suit clean and making sure that if I ended up playing football right before church or right after church, I need to make sure that I made it in that church house and that suit better be clean.
Here comes Holmes, a block ahead, provided by Johnny Willis. He's going to go in for a touchdown. Unbelievable run by Priest Holmes. His third touchdown today.
Priest Anthony Holmes was raised in San Antonio by his mother and stepfather. He attended John Marshall High School, where he excelled at football, modeling his running style off his NFL hero.
On Sundays, you were either going to be watching the Oilers or you're going to be watching the Cowboys. And so for me, I knew that Earl Campbell, for whatever reason, when I watched him run and he barreled over people, I was like, it just doesn't look like me. I don't see myself doing that in the front yard. But when I would turn to a Dallas game, I would see Tony Dorsett, right? I would see Dorsett, number 33, and the way that he shifted, cut against the grain. I just said, I think I can do that. I think I look like him when I run the ball in the front yard.
In his senior season, Priest would cut through defenses for 26 touchdowns and more than 2,000 yards, leading Marshall High School to their first appearance in a state championship game.
I think there was a couple of different coaches in my lifetime that made a huge difference. And outside of all the coaches that were involved with John Marshall, the one that just definitely took a liking to me and really made sure that he spoke real positive words into me and affirmations as well was David Visiting, our head coach. I know as a senior, there was one small summer that I decided that I wanted to go work, right? And it was going into the training camp, the little two-a-days that we would have in early August and coming out of July. And everybody's looking around like, where's Anthony at, right? And then someone says, I think he's up with his sister working at, one of the fast food restaurants off of Bandera Road. Sure enough, I was there and I had already missed a couple of practices. And I remember Coach V coming in there and he telling me, sitting down with me, and he was like, I promise you that if you decide to play football, it'll change your life. It'll be well worth it. And the time and the money that you may make in the next 2 weeks or 30 days won't account to what you'll do. So why don't you just come on out here and meet me at practice in the morning? And for me, it made a huge difference. It got me out that uniform. Next day, I was at practice, and then we went on to, accomplish some pretty great things also.
After graduating from Marshall, Priest would go on to the University of Texas and the NFL, where he won a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens before signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. In 2001, he led the NFL in rushing. In 2003, he broke the single-season touchdown record, scoring 27 times.
Those accolades, they mean a lot. And I think there was a time in life that they really stood out. And of course, I get excited about the things that I achieved. But for me, it kind of just goes even back to like 2002. When I received one of the pillars of character for Northside. And I received in 2002 the pillar of character for fairness. And so I think back on that, I'm like, man, wow, I can't believe that Northside saw that in me then.
Priest is actively involved in the NFLPA Former Players Chapter in San Antonio and Austin. He also is the head of the Priest Holmes Foundation.
I'm really glad that I had an opportunity to be able to answer that call. And like I said, it just took the seed to be planted and then just for us to respond and say yes.
Being a difference maker, using my platform, using all of these touchdowns that I've made to be able to give back to my community. So I think always it's about just giving back. And I think that's kind of the forefront of where I'm at 51.
Priest Holmes, 2025 inductee to the Northside Hall of Honor.